As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Cardinals going up against the Jets. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Jets. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Evades the tackler and now some space. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that's definitely the way you get things started. That's the way it was drawn up in the locker room, in pregame, and everything. And they got it done right away, running the ball for a big game.
So it'll be first down here after the run. On first down, it's Palmer. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Palmer. Flushed out right. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Andre Ellington, his first carry. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover, great moves in short areas.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Play action. Now Palmer. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target, and it's fourth down.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football. Worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really, by the way?
That he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not crush.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stops right there.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. An opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. It's a gain of 21 that time. And that's good for a Jet first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Fresh set of downs here. Here's Petty. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Petty now. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Corey Peters coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
And that's the down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
And a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. On 2nd down, Johnson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Now Palmer on 3rd and long. And Gresham has it left side. A good pickup there at 22. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
His throw incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Palmer gives to Johnson. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball. And that way, you often control the game.
Being chased, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jaron Brown, 28 yards. And the Cardinals are in for 6. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And the kicker commits the kicker's cardinal sin. He kicks it out of bounds. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Forte, the lone running back. He'll get the football here. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Shift together here from the D-line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Eric Decker, the intended target, and it's third down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. So after the interception, here's Palmer. Screen play, Johnson. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things.
Wide open, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, 58 yards. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. And it's good to make it 14-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Over the middle, and it's caught. Brandon Marshall. The numbers for Marshall this year, Charles, way down for 2015. Still played all 16 games, but the yards went from 1,500 to 788, and touchdowns dropped from 14 to 3.
It's always difficult when you don't get consistency at the quarterback position to get that kind of yardage as a wide receiver. And this year, unfortunately for him, that struggles with Ryan Fitzpatrick, Geno Smith gets hurt, and Bryce Petty also did not finish the season.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking back at this year for Matt Forte, best game came in week 2 at 3 touchdowns, rushed for over 100 yards. Altogether, 8-13 on the season. Missed the last couple games with an injury. So how do the Jets look at that position going forward?
Well, I'm about to provide motivation for him because I know that if he hears this, he'll say, I'll show you. But I don't think he's a lead back anymore. I think the Jets need to look to get one of those guys and make Matt Forte a complimentary piece. be a terrific third down back. He pass blocks well, he catches it terrific out of the backfield, and can surprise you running the football. I still think there's value for him. I just don't see him in the lead role any longer.
A gain of 13 and also a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Eric Decker was the intended receiver, and now it's second down.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Petty now. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Here's Petty. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Their dangerous wide receiver in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now Palmer on first down. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Let's go, let's go.
Final play of the half. It's Palmer. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that is incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Jets set to take the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with it. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll set up to throw. Anunu's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. Second down now after the incompletion.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Back to throw here. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Steps away to his left. Man open left side is Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Let's go. Regular.
Throwing now. Palmer on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Strength throwing the football down. Field has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
Down carry here for Johnson. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now it's Palmer sliding out of the pocket. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. Petty now. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chandler Jones in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, They have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Petty. He's going to let it go again, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Ross on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Again, it's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a 1st down here on 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go.
3rd and 2, now Palmer. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's got Gresham. And the QB steps over the line of scrimmage. That's an illegal forward pass.
And that is so rare because at the different positions, you have to know different things. Wide receivers have to know where the 1st down line is. Quarterbacks almost always know where the line of scrimmage is.
And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And on 2nd and 10 now. He'll look to throw. And complete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now here's Ross. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Palmer. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it's good enough for an Arizona first.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Palmer gives to Johnson. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Palmer, screen play, Johnson. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Here's Ellington. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of there where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Shift together here from the D-line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Jets on third. 41 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Frosty Rucker in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Here we go now.
Petty now. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Here we go now.
Here's Petty. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now let's go. Green.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. And they're not able to convert on 4th down. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through. One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Mirror, mirror, mirror. Here we go. Blue, regular.
Homer apparently wants to throw it. Forced out to his left. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.